In the depths of the Mediterranean Sea, hidden for nearly 2,000 years, lay an object that should not have existed. It was not gold, not jewels, not a weapon of war. It was a machine, silent, corroded, and impossibly advanced. When this object was first uncovered, scientists believed there had been a mistake. Ancient civilizations, they argued, were not capable of such precision. Yet the evidence was undeniable. Inside a shattered lump of bronze were gears, interlocking, calculated, and deliberate. This was not a decorative artifact. It was a device designed to track the heavens. Today, it is known as the Antikythera Mechanism, an ancient Greek computer that continues to challenge everything we thought we knew about the past. The story begins in the year 1901 near the small Greek island of Antikythera. A group of sponge divers, forced to seek shelter from a sudden storm, descended into unfamiliar waters. What they found was not coral or sea life, but a shipwreck resting nearly 50 meters below the surface. Scattered across the seabed were statues, amphorae, and luxury goods. The wreck was soon identified as a Roman-era cargo ship, likely transporting Greek treasures to wealthy buyers. Among these artifacts was a strange, corroded mass of bronze. It attracted little attention at first. No one suspected it would become one of the most important archaeological discoveries in history. Months after the artifacts were recovered, the bronze lump cracked open. Inside were gear teeth, small, precise, and unmistakably mechanical. This discovery puzzled researchers. Gears of this complexity were believed to have appeared more than 1,000 years later during the medieval period. Yet here they were, embedded in an ancient artifact. Early examinations revealed multiple interlocking wheels, each carefully designed to move in relation to the others. This was not decoration. It was a machine built with purpose. But what purpose? And how could such technology exist in the ancient world? To understand the mystery, we must understand ancient Greece. This was a civilization of thinkers, mathematicians, astronomers, and engineers. Scholars like Archimedes calculated volumes and forces with extraordinary accuracy. Hipparchus mapped the stars and discovered the precession of the equinoxes. Greek astronomers believed the universe followed mathematical rules. They observed the skies not as gods, but as systems. Yet despite their intellectual achievements, no surviving text described a machine like the one found at Antikythera. The device seemed to exist outside the known limits of ancient technology. As research continued, the purpose of the Antikythera mechanism became clearer. When turned by hand, the gears moved in precise harmony. The device could track the motion of the sun and the moon. It could predict lunar phases and solar eclipses years in advance. Inscriptions etched on its surface described astronomical cycles using scientific terminology. This was not astrology, it was astronomy. The mechanism functioned as a complex calendar, one that linked celestial movement to time itself. No other object like it was known to exist from antiquity. The true shock came when historians compared the mechanism to later technology. Machines with similar mechanical complexity would not appear again until medieval Europe, more than 13 centuries later. Clockwork systems, astronomical dials, and gear-driven calculators were believed to be medieval inventions. Yet the Antikythera mechanism predated them all. This raised an unsettling question. Had ancient knowledge advanced further than we ever realized, only to be lost, forgotten, or destroyed? The mechanism did not fit into the accepted timeline of technological progress. It rewrote it. One theory suggests the Antikythera mechanism was not unique. Ancient texts described mechanical devices, planetary models, moving statues, and automated machines. Many were made of bronze, a valuable material often melted down and reused. Wars, fires, and the collapse of institutions might have erased entire traditions of engineering. What survived by accident. The Antikythera shipwreck may represent a rare moment when ancient technology escaped destruction, preserved not in libraries, but beneath the sea. Some scholars point to Archimedes. Ancient Roman writers described him building a mechanical device that demonstrated the movements of the heavens. Cicero himself claimed to have seen such a machine. While no direct connection can be proven, the similarities are striking. The Antikythera mechanism may descend from a scientific tradition influenced by Archimedes' work. If true, it suggests that ancient engineering reached heights later generations failed to maintain. Another theory centers on Hipparchus, one of history's greatest astronomers. Certain calculations encoded in the mechanism match his known models of lunar motion. This implies the device was built using the most advanced astronomy of its time. Not guesswork, not myth, but precise mathematical prediction. The mechanism may represent applied science, theory transformed into machinery. There is also a more haunting possibility, that the Antikythera mechanism was a singular achievement, the work of one brilliant mind or one exceptional workshop whose knowledge vanished without successors. History is filled with forgotten innovators. Perhaps this machine was not the norm, but the exception, a technological miracle that arrived too early and disappeared too soon. Despite decades of study, many questions remain unanswered. Who commissioned the mechanism? Was it used for education, navigation, or religious ceremonies? How many more like it once existed? Excavations at the Antikythera wreck continue even today. Some believe missing fragments or even additional machines may still lie hidden beneath the seabed. The story may not yet be complete. What we do know is this. The Antikythera mechanism was an astronomical calculator, a machine designed to understand time, motion, and the cosmos. It proves that ancient humanity was capable of extraordinary precision. Yet it also reminds us how fragile knowledge can be, lost not in darkness, but in neglect, destruction, and silence. Perhaps history does not move forward in a straight line. Perhaps it turns, like the gears of an ancient machine still ticking beneath the sea.